What's up, everyone? It's day 63 of 75 Hard. I just finished my second workout of the day. I did my 45-minute outdoor workout, and today that consisted of running at the track again like I did last night. I would run the straight part of the 100 yards and then walk around the curve and then run and then walk and do that for 45 minutes. So I did that for 10 laps, which is 2.5 miles. Each lap is a quarter mile at the track. Cold and wet and windy and rainy, so it felt good to be out there knowing that I'm doing that to better myself and complete these tasks at a time where most people would not even go outside to go to the store. So little wins like that, that's how you develop the confidence and the discipline in yourself, knowing you can overcome anything that comes your way. So in the future, whenever things come in your path, you know it's going to be difficult, but you know that you can overcome anything. Today's been a good day though. I woke up around 8:30, did my hour on the tread climber, and then I got ready for the day and went to the gym. I did 30 minutes on the treadmill, and then I did a shoulder, bicep, and tricep workout. After I completed that, I went and picked up McKenzie. We went to Starbucks, and then we're on the hunt for some pumpkins to carve. We went to the Starbucks we go to is inside of a grocery store. All they had was little mini pumpkins, so scratched that. We went to Sam's thinking they would have some. They didn't. We went to Walmart thinking they would also. They didn't. Then we went one last place, the local grocery store here in town, and they had like 10 left. So we were able to get one each. We came back here and carved them up. After that, we just hung out for a little while, and then I took her back to her mom's, and where the track is that I go to is in the same town, so I took her home, and then when I did my 45-minute outdoor workout, I was, in a sense, dreading having to do it. I was just thinking, man, I still got to do this, It's been raining all day. It's been raining for like 3 days here, but it felt good to get it done. It didn't matter that it was raining. It actually started just barely sprinkling the rest of the time while I was doing it. It was raining pretty good while I was driving there. It's about 10 minutes away, but it didn't rain very much once I started. So it wasn't too bad, just windy and cool. It's 35 degrees here. So I was able to break a sweat still, but it felt good. It's a nice day to be able to spend some time with McKenzie, carve some pumpkins, do little things like that. That doesn't cost a lot of money. You can think of ways and be creative to where you can still spend time, and you don't have to spend a lot of money. You don't have to go on a vacation every time you want to do something. You can go to the park. You can do things that are free. You just need to spend that quality time together and, create those memories. That's the main thing. You need to be present. You need to make sure you're, present when you're there. You don't want to be on your phone and not talking about the things that are important. There's certain conversations you have to have with your kids in different ages of their life. And if you're not going to have those, they're going to end up having those conversations with somebody that you may not want them getting advice from. So you need to be on top of that. You need to know, like for me, I didn't have any conversations from anybody growing up. So all this is new, and it's me creating myself into a version of somebody that I wish I had when I was growing up, and then giving that person to her. As a dad, it's something that I take humongous pride in. There's nothing else that's more important to me than setting the good example, showing her how to be a winner in life, not to accept mediocrity and not think that average is anything to be proud of. And so far it's going all right. So I'm just gonna keep trying to do better. I'm always thinking of something that I missed, and I'm sure you do too. It's something I overthink and think about some more. So I know it's hard sometimes whenever if you're like me and you're split up with the other parent, and so you don't have that full time with the kid. The kid doesn't live in your house, so it's more difficult trying to get, the other person has to be aligned with your morals and your standards too. So you don't just have you saying one thing and then the mom or the dad or whichever is opposite, not pushing the same thing. So I like to have high standards. I don't want any kind of just bullshit, basically. So everything goes pretty well with that. She's in line with usually everything I say. If I bring something up that I don't like, she usually agrees. So nothing major to deal with yet, but you never know. So you got to be on top of that, being present for your children, and take pride in it, knowing that you're setting the example for them. You need to be their role model, and you should take pride in making sure that you're that person. I've said this multiple times. My worst fear is having me be like not worthy of being her role model, being to where that she has to look up at somebody else who, you know, I might not even approve of. You might not approve of the person that your kid ends up looking up to. So you got to create yourself into being that person. And it all starts with taking care of your body, taking care of your mind, controlling the things that you can control, and so on and so forth. That's how you become somebody that's worth, you know, looking up to. So if you're not doing that, something you need to look into. You can figure it out on your own, ways that you need to improve. Maybe you can talk to your spouse if you need, you know, help coming up with plans to how to change things, but you got to stay on top of it. You got to be the one that's setting the example and leading the way. Today, the main thing I want to talk about, I'll keep it pretty short. As we know, we go to these colder months at the end of the year. We think of it as cold and flu season. That's what they call it. But really, you're not getting enough sunlight. You're stuck in the inside, breathing the same recycled air, and you're not taking care of your body season. The reason you get sick, and you see people get sick, and you see a husband and wife, and one gets sick and the other doesn't. Well, most likely, it's not because they're not right next to each other. It's because one of them's up on their vitamin intake or their mineral intake, or they're eating healthier than the other person is, and their body's able to fight off these things a lot easier. So if you create your body into a host to accept this sickness into your life, and just for the record, this is not medical advice. I don't know anything about medical anything, so do what you got to do. But anyways, you need to stay up on your vitamins, your zinc, your calcium, your vitamin C, your magnesium, especially your vitamin D3. Your body can't absorb your D3, the vitamin D3, if your magnesium is deficient. So you got to keep in mind, you may be trying to be catching up on something that you're deficient in, but something over here that you're not taking also isn't allowing it. Because, you know, a lot of people associate getting cold being low iron, but there's one, I think it's like copper. If you're not, don't quote me on this, but if you're not, getting enough copper, your iron's not going to absorb right. You'll have to look it up. Don't quote me on that, like I said. But there's different things you have to take into account, and there's all these other factors. But the main thing is, as these months go on and it gets colder and the weather changes, make sure you're getting the sunlight, making sure you're eating healthier foods, making sure you're getting your exercise, making sure you're getting your vitamins and all your minerals. You can be taking, like I said, the calcium or the vitamin C, vitamin D3, magnesium, zinc. Zinc is a good antiviral, and I would say Celtic sea salt or Irish sea moss. You can get different forms of the sea moss. I usually have capsules, and I get McKenzie the little gummies. It's good to give your kids these things to keep their health up and their immune system up. Vitamin C is very good for that also. You can have your own little cocktail with whatever that works for you. Just don't overlook it. Don't forget to be taking them. Don't skip days. Don't double up if you do skip. Just take it normal. Stay on top of it, and also make sure you're getting plenty of fluids. You want to be hydrated, so everything is working correctly. Your cells are absorbing the proper amount of water. You're getting hydrated. That's another reason to have the Celtic sea salt, or the Irish sea moss is good as well. But also H3O2 is the juice from melons, and that actually absorbs into your cells a lot better than H2O. So keep that in mind if you can get watermelons, any kind of melons. And that's going to be basically it. I appreciate you guys following along and showing support. We're getting close to the end of this boot camp phase, and then it's on from there. It's just a matter of staying on top of it and not overlooking anything in these last few days. It feels good, yeah, to be getting closer to the end, but like I said, it's just the beginning. You got to treat it like it's day one. Obviously not day 76. You don't have to treat it like it's day one, and you can not necessarily have to do the exact same things you've been doing, but you might change it up and start doing your own other tasks that you've been putting off, things that you know you need to do. Make a list, doing X today, Y tomorrow, Z the next day, just to where you make sure you get these things done. You keep stacking these wins, because you need to go clean something up in your backyard. You need to organize your garage. You need to do something to your car that you've been neglecting. There's just all kinds of things that it could be, but you just need to pick out what the things are in your life that you've been overlooking. Now that you're going to have time, if you're not going straight into phase one, you just need to stay on top of stacking the wins, so you don't get to where you're falling off track, and then you get back and before you know it, you're back to weighing the same thing you weighed when you started the program, and your discipline's worn off like it was whenever you started the program, and you just want to stay on top of it. So the same way you want to stay on top of being taking care of your body with the vitamins and minerals and your hydration, you want to stay on top of doing the things each day that you tell yourself you're going to do, and especially the things that you tell others you're going to do also. But yeah, especially yourself, not especially other people, but both. You know what I mean? You want to be betraying yourself constantly. That's how you have no self-confidence, because you never do the things you say you're going to do. You always hit the snooze. You don't eat right. You don't make it to the gym, making excuses and excuse after excuse. And you know exactly what to tell yourself to justify not doing it. It's just, we are our easiest sell. If you are a salesman, you know exactly what to say in your mind to yourself to get out of doing something, to make it seem like it's okay that you're not doing something that you need to do. You can just put it off in your mind, like, in a way. You can tell yourself that it doesn't even faze you. You don't even feel bad about it, but really you're just betraying yourself. And then whenever you come back to that, you think about it again, and you realize you lost that confidence you had because you started betraying yourself. But you need to build a higher reputation with yourself. And part of that is taking care of your body and taking care of your fitness. And I think most of it is taking care of your body and your fitness. And then everything else outside of it, starts taking care of itself, because of the person that you built yourself into. You don't let these little things get in your way. You attack all the small details, and then you make wins every single day, and you keep stacking them up. But that's all I got for today. I'll be back tomorrow for day 64. Peace.